What's up everyone, it's Joseph Green Dentistry back with another video for the channel. Today we're going to talk about my journey to dentistry. I remember back whenever I was a pre-dental student, I would always go on YouTube and watch other people's videos and see their journey because everyone has a different story. So I just wanted to share mine and hopefully anyone that can relate to it, hopefully my journey motivates y'all to continue through your struggle and continue through your path to dentistry. My story begins whenever I was a kid, so I wanted to be a doctor at a young age. I remember even in 4th grade, we had a career fair and everyone was dressed up as an NBA player or NFL player, but then I was the only kid or one of the only kids dressed up as a doctor. So whenever I was a kid, I didn't know what type of doctor I wanted to be, whether it be a dentist, optometrist, physician, I really didn't know. All I knew was I wanted to be a doctor and I wanted to have a job where I'm helping people every day. So fast forward a little bit, in high school, I wasn't really motivated in academics. Growing up, my passion for academics and doing well in school slowly faded away and I started wanting to do other things, just anything other than school. So my dream of being a doctor slowly started fading away as well. Once I got into college, my major was actually legal studies at first. I wasn't really sure what to do. I really didn't know what to pick either. So I just went ahead and went with legal studies. And I wasn't really that interested in it. I'm not even gonna lie. It was something that just didn't interest me, didn't catch my attention. On top of that, I started working a lot of hours. I was trying to save up a lot of money. So I was working 3 jobs at once. And academics it was the least of my problems, especially because I didn't know what I wanted to do, so it was hard for me to be motivated in school. Another thing was being a first-year student at a university. Well, everybody can relate to that. Being a freshman, you expect it to be like high school where the teachers make it easy for you, but then your first day in college or your first exam, you realize the teacher's not going to make it easy. You have to take responsibility yourself. And that was something I had to learn as well. But again, it was kind of hard for me to take responsibility if I wasn't motivated to do school anyways. Eventually I fell behind and I decided to transfer to a community college until I could figure out what I wanted to do. I felt like spending money at a university wasn't ideal, so I went ahead and transferred somewhere cheaper and I just focused on trying to figure out my role in school. So at the end of my 2nd year of college, which was my first year at the community college, I still didn't know what I wanted to do. I remember I was just sitting in bed at the end of that year just reminiscing on all my bad grades throughout the past 2 years. And then I just had this epiphany moment, like what are you doing with yourself? This isn't like you. You really need to get your stuff together. So that night, I just sat down, I started researching. I was like, okay, I need to figure out what I want to do with my life because I don't want to waste it. So as I was researching, I started remembering how much I wanted to be a doctor as a kid. And as I was researching, I was just thinking to myself, I don't know if I could do this because I know to be a doctor, you have to be very good in academics. You have to be very motivated. You have to be this and that. So I wasn't sure if I could at the time. But I thought about it and I was like, you know what? I never really tried taking a science course before in undergrad. So why don't I take a science course and see if I do well? Then if I do well, then maybe I can do something in the medical field. So going into my 3rd year, I realized I needed a new scenery, I needed to go to a new school, and I needed to change my major, especially because I still need to see if I could do well in science courses because the medical field is all about science. So I went ahead and transferred to Sam Houston State University, which is where I graduated. So when I transferred to Sam Houston State University, I remember my first meeting with my advisor. I told her I wanted to major in biomedical science. I wanted to give a science class a shot, Bio 1, and if I could do well, then I'm going to pursue the medical field and maybe even try and be a doctor if I do well enough in these science classes. So she was kind of telling me, if you're changing your major halfway through, you're pretty much going to have to restart school because biomed is all these science classes, math classes, and you haven't done any in your first 2 years. So I went ahead and I told her, if I just want to give it a shot, see if I do well, and if I do well, I'm going to pursue it. And so she went ahead and switched my major, got me signed up for some classes. I believe it was 5 days later, boom, school started. I took my first biology class, loved it, I did well, and at the end of that semester, I told my advisor, okay, I think I could do this. So what do I have to do? Ever since that point on, I really strove to get into the medical field. Continuing on, I started falling in love with these science classes. I loved what I was learning about. My GPA was improving. I started loving school more and more. I found myself starting to get more involved in organizations and stuff. It was just because my interest in school I just regained it, and I wanted to submit myself in everything in school. It's just once I found that road, I was super motivated and just pushed myself to go 100%. So I continued doing well in school. I started shadowing more, and after shadowing different health professions like a physical therapist and an optometrist, I eventually stumbled upon dentistry. And whenever I shadowed a dentist for the first time, I immediately fell in love. So I chose dentistry. That was a path I wanted to take. But whenever I figured out that's what I wanted to do, I did research and found out that the average GPA was around a 3.7 of students that get accepted. At the time, my GPA after that first semester at Sam Houston was actually pretty low. It was around a 2.2 maybe, because those first 2 years I wasn't doing so hot. So I felt really discouraged, and I kind of told myself, like, I don't know if I can do this, you know? My GPA is extremely low. The minimum they want is a 3, and I don't even have that. And so I had one of those moments where I need to put everything I got into my school to get A's and to bring up my GPA quickly. So after my second semester at Sam Houston, I brought my GPA up some more. That summer I retook classes, brought it up even more. So eventually it was at like a 2.7 or so. And I had a semester where I was taking organic, calculus, physics 1, and intro to cell biology all in one semester. It was around 16 hours. It wasn't too bad, but it was all STEM classes. So I told myself, if you can get straight A's this semester, then you can get into dental school. So I went ahead and worked super hard that semester, got straight A's, and that proved to myself you can't get into dental school. So no matter what anyone told me, or if they told me I had a low GPA, it's unlikely I'll get in, I didn't listen to them. I proved to myself that I could get into dental school, so I went ahead and went for it. And lucky for me, my science GPA was way higher than my cumulative, because I never took a STEM type class until I got to Sam Houston. So my science GPA started all over. It was like at 0. So all I did was whenever I got to Sam Houston, I just went 100% in those sciences, and I kept it at a decent level. So that kind of helped me get into dental school as well. My cumulative wasn't the best, but my science GPA was pretty high up there. But my cumulative GPA was low, and to bring it up, every summer break, winter break, whatever, I was retaking classes, or I was taking additional coursework to catch up, because whenever I switched my major, I was behind. So I didn't really have any summer, winter break. I was always working on my GPA, trying to bring it up. I kept retaking classes, making A's in all the classes I was retaking, all the science classes and the additional coursework. I was making A's and B's. And eventually, after 2 years at Sam Houston, working on my GPA and everything, I felt like I was ready to apply. That summer, I ended up studying for my DAT, applying to dental school, and then yeah, from there everything worked out how it should have. I graduated in 3 years at Sam Houston, so a total of 5 years in undergrad. Got into the dental school I wanted to go to, and now I'm able to share my story. So the main takeaway of this video is I really just wanted to share my story for anyone out there that might have a similar story, or anyone who's just looking for motivation. At the end of the day, dental school is hard to get into, but if you have the right work ethic and you understand that you have to do everything you can to become the best applicant possible, then you can get into dental school. It's gonna be hard, but if you just stay persistent, work super hard, you'll get in. I always say, if you work hard, everything will work out as it should in the end. So that's it for today's video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And go ahead and comment if you related to anything in this video. Thank you for watching. Please tune in for the next video. And yeah, I'm out.